Welcome everyone. Today's topic is systematic approach to building an empire from scratch. Um, so we're going to start off with something that is very, very critical in real estate. So to be able to be successful in real estate, you need certain pillars that are very critical. One of them is time. The other one is credit. And finally, you need knowledge. Okay, so very, very simple. Now, today, happy Father's Day, by the way. So what if you're spending or you're going to spend the evening with your family? What if you didn't have time to find great deals? Because guess what? Most investors who get into real estate um, believe they need to have money and credit to be successful in real estate, but that's absolutely not the truth. You need to have a great deal. Okay, when you have a great deal, guess what? You're going to be able to find partners, you're going to be able to find money, you're going to be able to find pretty much anything. Because think about it, what if you had a deal that has a spread of over 100,000? What could you do with that? What if you could do a flip, a rental, a wholesale? Wouldn't you think that somebody would want to partner up with you? Because guess what? There are a lot of people who are already approved, who already have money, but guess what? They don't have a deal. So this is what we came up with for all of you Chicago DealVault members. So what we have is we have two full-time employees. All they do is find and analyze great off-market deals. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this available to you. I wanna make sure that we assign a dedicated VA or virtual assistant to help you find those deals, right? Whether you have time or not to access the system, it doesn't matter. We're gonna make sure that you always have a continuous lead pipe of deals. Okay, so how do we make sure that happens? Those two people, we're going to dedicate at least one of them. So what I need you to do right now before we forget, please send us an email with all the areas that you're interested in. So I'm going to put in the chat the areas that support at chicagodealvault.com. Okay, please email us all areas that you're interested in. So this is what we're doing. So for instance, let me give you an example. This is my personal list of areas. So I have a lot of areas that we've given the dedicated VA. So all they do is go every single day, find deals, analyze them, and they will also do the flip and rental analysis for you. Okay, and most importantly, if it's an off-market deal, we are going to give you the owner's contact information. And if it's a bank-owned property, we are going to give you the bank's contact information. Okay, so let me just give you an example. Today we found, or they found, this property in Des Plaines, 694 East Octon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot so that all of you have these available so that you can see what it's like. So I'm gonna send these, I'm gonna highlight these, I'm gonna copy these to the cloud. It's gonna create a link on the cloud, and then I'm gonna send these to everyone. So I wanna make sure that everyone has access to the deals that the dedicated virtual assistants are finding for us. So when you click on the link, boom, it's gonna give you these, okay? So I wanna make sure that you all have access to great deals, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna personalize these, okay? I wanna make sure that we find deals in the areas that you're looking for. So one of the areas that we're interested in is Des Plaines, and the reason why is because Des Plaines, it's an A area, but yet, guess what? Property prices are still under 200,000, and the rents are extremely high. So you're gonna be commanding rents close to 2,000 and up, okay, for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Des Plaines. So the numbers are gonna work amazing. Properties move very quickly, so you can do a buy and hold, you can do a flip in Des Plaines. So that's one of the areas. Tingley Park, it's also a hot area. So this is what I want you to see, okay? So we know in this case, these are bank-owned properties. Let's just quickly take a look at the one on Des Plaines, okay? So it's roughly, we're going to give you what the ARV is. It's going to be close to 325. And we know the bank is going to sell it for almost 50 cents on the dollar. Can you imagine that? So there's a huge profit spread. Imagine if you were to pay 161 for a property that it's in an A neighborhood. I mean, what could you do with that? In fact, we closed on a property 2 days ago in Mount Prospect. Mount Prospect is an A area, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, brick home for 161,000. In fact, it's exactly the same number. So when we did the virtual tour on Thursday, I physically went to the property and I showed that to all of you who showed up. If you didn't make it, please watch the replay, okay? Because we're gonna take you through this process of step by step what you need to do once you close on a property. So we analyze the deal, we analyze the rehab, the scope of work. Not only that, but I mentioned the steps that you need to do. Like you've got to turn on the utilities, primarily the water. Okay, you have to pull permits right away, and you need to start working on it ASAP. Right, time is of essence because you're incurring holding expenses, carrying cost on a daily basis. So we've got to make sure that we're in and out on the deals. But what I want to offer you is we will dedicate a virtual assistant to help you find deals. Okay, that's my offer to you on Father's Day. Whether you're a father or not, that's okay. Or if you're a mother, even better, right? So we are going to make sure that we allocate our resources for you to find these type of deals. Okay, now why is this a great deal? So let me just quickly show you 694. In fact, this is a Bankton property. So I'm going to do is search for these in by city. Okay. Okay, so we found a couple of them. 910. So in fact, we found a couple of them, but I want to look up this address, 694 East Ogden. 694. So I'm going to do a power search. 694 East Ogden Street. Okay. Now, why is this a great deal? Why does this make a lot of sense? I'll show you. Okay, so right here, this property, ARV is over 300,000. Okay, this place is an A area. Now, the bank is going to sell these for, we have two listings, okay? It's going for auction and it's gonna sell it for 160,000. Okay, so it's pretty much you're paying 60 cents on the dollar. And then this is the bank, Wells Fargo. So we could technically help you buy this property for 50 cents on the dollar in this place. And as you can see, the owner was in the hook for 256. But, you know, the bank starting bid was 190 back in November last year, actually 2 years ago. So it's been sitting on the bank's assets for a long time. So it just came time for them to dispose of it for 160,000. So we found this in the system. You could buy it directly from the bank. And this is the beauty that if you don't have time, that's okay. We're gonna be finding these type of deals for you because once you have a great deal, you're gonna be able to do anything. So that is just a systematic approach to building a rental empire. Whether you have time or not, you should be able to have a constant lead pipes. Okay, so let me give you another example. Like the one we were looking at, we just found another one. So I looked up in these planes right now because we got, so we found two deals right now. So let me pull the second one, okay, that is vacant. Ideally, you, even if it says occupied, you wanna stay within vacant properties. Okay, 159,000 for a 2 bedroom, 1 bath in this place. Okay, so I'm gonna show you another one because we're getting hundreds of properties on a weekly basis. So this week, let me clear the filter. We found 719 properties. So this is the way we do it. we filter these by vacancy. So I say, show me all the vacant properties. These are all bank-owned properties, meaning that the bank has already foreclosed on them. And then we're gonna click on the map. Okay, so we are going to find, I'm gonna guide you through the process of finding great deals, okay? So number one is to identify great markets that are gonna support your exit strategy, whether you do a buy and hold, a fix and flip, or a wholesale. That is rule number one. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm gonna zoom in. So these are all off-market deals that we could potentially help you buy. Okay, imagine. So these properties are technically not for sale. So the way that I like to look at this is by area, right? So I like to go through nice neighborhoods, and based on that, we just quickly dive into it. So I see a lot of properties near Oak Park, right? So Oak Park it's a great area. So let me just hover over one of them. So this is 941 South Elmwood in Oak Park. So let me just click on it. We have some in Stickney. So this is an example also of a great property that you can buy for 225,000, and yet the ARV is twice as much. So this is an example of a property that we would help you acquire. So in here, let me show you, we're gonna tell you based on this property size, 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,200 square feet. So this is fairly large in Oak Park. The most you should offer for this property, assuming that it needs up to 50,000 in rehab, the most you should pay for this property should be 280 for a flip or 257 for a wholesale. And guess what? You can pick this up for 225, which is almost, again, 50 cents on the dollar. Oak Park, it's an A neighborhood. Oak Park is a great neighborhood that supports flips. Um, but again, it's the key is not only to have access to the right information at the right time, but to scan through the deals on a daily basis. So that's what we're gonna commit for you. Okay, we are going to do this for you because we want to make sure that you are not missing out on deals, especially right now. A lot of people have been affected by the economy. So guess what's going to happen? In the next 3 to 6 months, there's going to be a huge tsunami wave of foreclosures coming down the pipe. So guess what? You have to be ready to pull the trigger. You have to have your ducks in a row, meaning your entity, and also you have to have your line of credit ready. So what we are going to help you with is line up the deals. And then at the same time, if you don't have a list of all the asset-based lenders that are currently lending today, please send us an email. I'm gonna send it via the chat, okay? So request, ask for asset-based lenders, okay? We have about over 20 or so that we are going to email them to you. Because what you need to do is make sure that you reach out to them and get a line of credit. So they're gonna go over your experience, FICO score, your liquidity, and based on that, they are going to give you a line of credit. So whenever you have a great deal like this one and you're ready to pull the trigger, guess what? You are ready to include the line of credit onto your offer that you make to the bank, to the owner. So the key thing, friends, is that you are ready. That is why we're running so many live webinars on a weekly basis, because there's going to be a huge wave of opportunities coming down the pipe and you have to be ready. Things are starting to open up, okay? Banks are already lending for both rehab loans and long-term loans or rental loans, okay? So you have to be ready to pull the trigger. It is super, super important. So right now, we just found a couple of great deals off the map, okay? And these are ready to be purchased. So now let me show you. Let's go back to the map, okay? So right here, the best way to do this is by looking at the map. So Stickney is another great suburb, okay, for rentals. So for instance, in this case, this is, you could buy these for 120,000. Look at the ARV, it's almost twice as much. You see that? Can you imagine if you were to pay 50, 60 cents on the dollar for these type of properties? I mean, here, the most you should pay for a flip is 129. For a wholesale, 117. It's for sale for 120. That's how much the bank is going to sell it for. It's a 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath in Stickney. Stickney, it's a great neighborhood. So again, we just found another deal, okay? Um, and then these type of deals, you can buy them directly from the bank. All you need is your line of credit and also your entity docs, like your S Corp, your LLC, and that's about it, okay? If you don't have an S Corp or an LLC, please make sure that you use LegalZoom. That's our favorite resource, okay, to create one. So you can incorporate in less than 3-4 days, okay? If you pay $100, they're gonna expedite that process. You've gotta have that to be able to pull the trigger. Because again, friends, what most successful people have is they have a great deal like this one where you pay 50, 60 cents on the dollar. Not only that, but the easiest way to know if this is a great deal is add 100,000 to the purchase price. So that'll be 220. So that's how much this property should appraise for. When you have a spread of about 100,000, you'll be able to do anything. You could do a flip, you could do a buy and hold, you can do a wholesale. So right off the bat, in the last 15 minutes, friends, we found 3 home run deals. Okay, and we're gonna make these available to you. Okay, this list of really hot markets where there's a huge spread, okay? But this is just some areas. Please send us all the areas that you're interested in. We're gonna make sure that we assign a dedicated VA or virtual assistant to help you find deals, analyze them, send them to your inbox, okay? And at the same time, please reach out to hard or asset-based lenders. Okay, it is super critical for you to be able to have that line of credit. Okay, that's going to be based on your liquidity. Right now, one of the I was talking to Gary Davidson from Castle Law, and the second largest law firm in Illinois, Corillis, they handle most foreclosure cases in Illinois. Right now, they're no longer taking any more applications. They have 9,000 foreclosure cases to be filed. 9,000. You heard me right, friends. 9,000. Do you know what that means for you? Do you know what kind of opportunity that's going to represent for all of us? So right now, if I show you, if I go to pre-foreclosures, okay, in Illinois, right now, there are 40,000. So imagine adding an extra 25% or about 10,000 foreclosures in the next 3 to 6 months. I mean, a lot of investors like you and I are going to be able to make a killing, okay? But you have to be ready. That's what I mean. That is why we're allocating all our resources to help you. Even if you don't have time to access the system, we will send you the great deals your way. Okay, that's what I want to stress. That's what we are committed to. Okay, on top of that, of course, make sure that you watch the replays. And we are going to not only give you the analysis for the rental, for the flip, but we're going to make sure that those properties are in the neighborhoods that makes the most sense for you. Okay, so in fact, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, as a bonus today, just because it's Father's Day, uh, in the email that you send us to support at ChicagoDealVault.com, please request top flipping and rental markets. Okay, so we're gonna send you those, or you can also find them right here on their area reports, okay? I want to make sure that you understand the areas where you want us to find deals for you. So what I highly suggest is that right now, due to the crisis, you've got to focus on A and B areas. C and D were hit the hardest because that's where most people hold blue collar jobs, and many of them have lost their jobs, right? So they're not able to pay their mortgage or rent, so eventually they're going to lose their home. Stick to B and A areas, okay? So for instance, do A areas, and then the approach, try to stick to cash flow or rentals right now, because flips until things reopen up again are too risky. Okay, so these are just the list of top rental markets for the A neighborhoods. Okay, so you can do the same for the B neighborhoods, and we're gonna give them to you. So this is just to give you an idea. You cannot go wrong with these areas. We're gonna tell you just in a nutshell what approach the neighborhood supports, which is critical, friends. Okay, before you get into an area, you've got to make sure that the exit strategy that you're going to take, either a flip or a buy and hold, is supported by the area. Okay, not only that, but you've got to make sure that the property prices are less than 200,000. Okay, you've got to focus on areas where the prices are less than 200,000, because when you start going over 200,000 for the purchase price, your numbers are going to be too tight. Okay, it's too risky. Your numbers will quickly escalate, and then your risk goes higher automatically. Okay, so do for A and B areas. We'll be happy to find deals for you in as many areas as you pick. Okay, as many areas as you pick. We have the bandwidth, we have the resources to help you make sure you have a pipeline of great off market deals. Okay, whether they're in pre-foreclosure, whether they're banked on properties, or even we are also finding great amazing deals in upcoming auctions. So these are people who will lose their home at the judicial auction in the next 30 to 60 days. Okay, so these are very motivated investors with a lot of equity that they're willing to take action. They're willing to do something. Otherwise, they're going to lose their home, their equity, and ruin their credit. So we want to make sure that you do have access to all these great deals, because every time I log onto the system, we find great deals. But the key point is that you don't need to be on the system on a daily basis. We will for you. Okay, that's what I want to make sure that you tap into our resources. Okay, because I want to make sure that every single one of you on the line is successful today. Okay, not tomorrow, no, not when things reopen. I want to make sure that you are able to strike great home run deals. Okay, so in fact, as I said, we closed on a property. I'm going to show you the property we closed on. It's 915 Elmhurst Road in Mount Prospect. Okay, so this is an example of one that we closed on Tuesday. We have another one lined up in Elmwood Park. Okay, another great deal. So this is an example of this property. Okay, so the ARV is between 250, 260 to 283. So I would say the ARV is close to it, appraised at 275. Okay, we bought it for 161. 100,000 less. That's exactly what I was telling you. And what's really powerful is that most of these properties that are banked on properties require very light to medium rehab, which is less than 35,000. Okay, so when you have that combination of that much equity plus a light to medium rehab of less than 35,000, you can do anything with it. You can do a flip, you can do a rental, you can wholesale. So I want to make sure that all of you start taking all these home run deals. Okay, not only the pros, okay, who have access to all these data. I want to make sure that every single ordinary investor, just like you and I, can tap into these great amazing deals. Okay, but for that to happen, please send us the areas, and you've got to reach out to the asset-based lenders. So we are making those available to you right now. For instance, Barnett Capital is lending, Renovo is lending, Albica is lending. Okay, many of them that we've been approved by in the last several weeks, they are lending. Okay, so and not only that, but they have very competitive terms. Okay, so they're charging about 2 points. The interest rate is between 9 to 10. Okay, and some of them, what's really cool is they're adding. These are asset-based lenders. They're adding a long-term program, so you can just flip your loan from a rehab loan into a rental with the same lender, which is huge, right? Because you can avoid closing costs, you can avoid appraisal fees, and you can save time. Okay, so it's just a streamlined process. Please reach out, make sure that you have access to those lenders. And then the second thing is that we will do the finding and analysis for you. Okay. Um, are there any questions on the line? I want to make sure that you are following. So let me see. People keep sending me reports that don't fall within your parameters. Okay, so that's a great point. Um, are you going to rent or sell this property? So this property, we are going to rent the one in Mount Prospect. So if I show you, the rents are super strong. So look at this, rental market over 2,000. So think about this, the rule of the 1%. If you pay 160,000, you've got to rent it for at least 1% of that, which is 1,600. The rent here is over 2,000. So cash flow is going to work incredibly well, okay, in this property. So now, if you have a certain criteria that you want aside from the area, please include that in your email. Let's say that you don't want properties over 250,000. Okay, so we can eliminate those. So send all your investment criteria. We'll put that into the system. Okay, to help you identify those great deals. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna buy and hold this property. We started the rehab, is gonna be done in the next 10 days. So I'm gonna take you back to that property. We're gonna do a virtual tour to show you, go over the scope of work, go over the numbers, and then so that you can have a better idea of what it takes to do a light to medium rehab. Okay, this is an A area that supports flips and rentals for sure. Are there any other questions on the line? Okay, so I want to make sure that we have all your areas and investment criteria. Okay, another question is, can you use our own lenders? Also, what is the catch of you helping us all of these? Okay, so great question. You can use your lenders so long they are asset-based, okay? You need lenders that are going to base their decision on the asset itself, on the house. And then what's the catch in helping us do that? There's no catch, okay? When you're part of DealVault, we make all these resources available to you, okay? Why? Because we were in your shoes about 2.5 years ago. So we know what it's like. We know what it feels like not to have any guidance or help. So that is why we're turning that around. We want to make sure that you become our next use case where you strike a home run deal, where whether you do a flip or a buy and hold, it doesn't matter, right? So we want to make sure that you are successful. And so DealVault is a paid subscription membership. Okay, so when you become a member of DealVault, then you are entitled to these benefits. Okay. Now another question is, when you change the loan from a flip to a rental, what is the rate? Oh, that's a great question. So you're gonna go from a 10% interest rate to a 5.5 or so, because right now their interest rates are historically low. Um, so yeah, no, it's a must to put it into a longer term loan. Okay, now the question is, do you have access right now to what it takes to be successful? So please make sure that you get it for free. Um, so here, make sure that you fill this form out, select for the package, special, ChicagoDealVault, and the promo code is Empire. Okay, now one question is, why can we use conventional financing? Okay, you can use conventional financing on the back end. Once you bought the property, rehab it, rented it, then you can use a conventional lender to refinance and pay off the harmony lender, okay, or asset-based lender. You cannot use a conventional lender upfront on the purchase. Why? Because they require you to have pretty much a move-in ready property. But if the property you are buying, like the properties we're looking for, if they don't have a kitchen, if they don't have appliances, if the utilities are off, they will not lend you money. Okay, they want to make sure that all utilities are on, that it's in pretty much move-in ready condition. Okay, so that's not going to happen on all these off-market properties. Something needs to be fixed. So that is why you use conventional lenders on the back end, not on the front end, not on the purchase. You use them to put your loan in a rental term. So it's going to be 5.5 interest rate, 30-year or 25-year term. Okay, but not on the purchase. I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. So it's huge. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Okay, I'm not muted. Okay, perfect. Now you can hear me. Perfect. Thank you. So I'm going to repeat what I said. Conventional lender is used on the back end. You have to use asset-based lenders on the purchase, because not only are they going to finance up to 80 to 90% of the purchase, so you will only put 10 to 15% down, but they will give you 100% of the rehab, which is huge. Okay, no conventional lender is going to give you that unless you request like a construction loan, 203K loan, FHA, but it has to be an owner-occupied property. But if you are thinking about growing and investing on rentals, you have to use asset-based. That's how you're going to grow fast, because it's quick money. It's expensive though, but it's going to be quick money that you can use not only for the purchase, but also for the rehab. So it's huge. I want to make sure that you take advantage of those lenders. So send us an email. We're going to send you those resources. Down payment for the Harmony lenders, it typically goes from 10 all the way to 15% down payment of the purchase price. So if the purchase price is 160,000, you're going to need to pay maybe 15,000 or so, and they're going to finance 100% of the rehab. So it's huge, right? So you have very, very little money stuck on the property just to begin with. Once you rehab the property and rent it out, guess what? You're going to call the conventional lender, or maybe even the Harmony lender, that may offer a rental loan, right? So then they can turn your rehab loan into a rental loan, and then you don't need to do an appraisal. You don't need to incur second closing expenses. So you can just turn that expensive loan into a long-term, lower interest rate loan, okay? It's just a win-win for everyone. Now, another question, does the rate still hold during COVID times? I'm hearing 30%. Yeah, absolutely. So right now with COVID, they have increased. Let's say instead of putting down 10%, they want you to put in 15%, okay? But still, it's relatively low. What they care is that you have a great deal that has equity and that it will cash flow. Okay, that is super important for lenders. Now, what's a rental loan? It's a long-term, 30-year term, lower interest rate loan. That's what it means, a rental loan. So you use the rental loan once you fixed up the property, rent it out, then you put it in a rental loan, meaning long-term, 30-year term, 5.5 interest rate. That's a rental loan, okay? But when you purchase a property and while you stabilize the property, you're gonna be paying expensive money for it, right? So you're gonna be paying about 10%, 2 points, and it's a short-term loan, maybe 4 to 6 month term loan, okay? But it's okay. Now, another question is, going forward after we join, do we have phone support? Yeah, great question, Peter. When you join Chicago Deal Vault, you can have as many one-on-one training sessions as you wish. In fact, from the system right here, you see in the right-hand corner, the green button, it says schedule training right here. So you can pick a day and time. I'm gonna send you this link so you can schedule as many one-on-one trainings as you wish, okay? So we're gonna help you get trained up as many one-on-ones that you need. So please make sure that you fill this form out and get access for free for the next 30 days. So this is get it free for 30 days, okay? 30 days right here, okay? And then send us the list of areas with your investment criteria. We're gonna be assigning a dedicated virtual assistant to help you find awesome deals like the ones I just showed you. In less than 5-10 minutes, we found amazing deals that you pay 50 cents on the dollar. Those are the type of deals that you need to be able to get funded, to be able to do a successful flip or buy and hold, okay? Now remember, for the package, you need to select special Chicago Deal Vault, okay? And the promo code is the promo code is, I put it up here. Want to make sure that you use the right Empire. Okay, promo code Empire. I want to make sure that you use the right promo code. Okay, now what are loan terms for private money lenders? It's about the same thing. Private money lenders, they're going to give you 10 to 12% interest rate, 2 points, and it's a short-term loan, like 4 months, okay? We also have private money lenders in DealVault. Right here, we have over 6,000 private money lenders right here. You click on private money lenders, we have 6,600 private money lenders in Chicago DealVault, okay? You can sort them by city, zip code, anything, okay? We even include their contact information. So we skip trace and we give you their contact information. So please, I want to make sure that you have a systematic approach to building an empire. What does it take to have that system? You need somebody to help you find the deals on your behalf, okay? Because even if you don't have time to log into the system, it's okay. We will find them for you. We're going to give you the lenders funding right now, which is huge, okay? And thirdly, we're going to give you unlimited trainings one-on-one, because I want to make sure that you have access to funding, you have access to training and knowledge, and then you have deals. That's what it takes to be successful in real estate. I want to make sure that you fall into the 2 to 5% of the real estate investors who join real estate and become truly successful. I don't want you to be on the other side of the fence, the 95% of the people who they don't necessarily fail, but they just don't make it to the level they could. I want to make sure that you make it to the 2 to 5% of successful real estate investors. And what you need is you need a great deal, you need credit, and you need training. We are gonna commit to giving you all three, okay? Make sure that you sign up so that we give you access to all the resources today, not tomorrow, not in a few days, not in weeks, today. In the next 3 to 6 weeks, there's gonna be a huge wave of foreclosures coming down the pipe. I'm talking about 10,000, 10,000, okay? So you've got to be ready. It's gonna be incredible. We're gonna all be making a killing. We're gonna grasp. We're gonna get these home run deals. Okay, so for that you need to be ready. So, are there any other questions? If no further questions, please take action. Make sure that you get access. When you get access, please right away I send you the link to schedule the training. I want to make sure that you schedule the training even today. We work 7 days a week. Okay. We have 2 shifts, so schedule the training ASAP. If you sign up right now, schedule the training today, please, okay? And you'll be on your way to build a rental empire. Right now, it's going to be a huge opportunity. You've got to be ready, okay? In fact, we're cranking it up like big time, like never before, okay? And then make sure that you RSVP to our bootcamps, upcoming bootcamps. So we have two, one in Spanish and the other one in English. Make sure that you RSVP to both of them. English, okay? So we're gonna be talking about wholesaling. We're gonna be talking about fix and flip and buy and hold. Make sure that you RSVP to either one of those. And then can you explain how I can convert asset-based loan to my private loan again, please? So once you have an asset-based loan, you can reach out to conventional lenders, which we have a list of them on their our preferred partners. We're gonna give you the conventional lenders right here under lenders. We're gonna give them to you, okay? Juan Loya, so they can help you turn your asset-based lender or expensive loan into a longer-term loan, lower interest rate, okay? So Sam, please make sure that you sign up if you don't have access, and everyone on the line, we are going to do three things. One, assign a VA, dedicated VA to help you find deals on limited training, okay? And give you access to Harmony lenders, okay? Funding today. Okay, so friends, thank you for joining today. You will get the replay tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. And please RSVP for the events above. Send us the areas that you're interested in, okay? And everyone else, please, fathers, enjoy today's day. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go out with my three daughters, wife, my mom, and have a blast this afternoon. So thank you everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule. Make sure that you RSVP to the other events, and also get access to DealVault and schedule your training today, not tomorrow. You've gotta do it today, okay? So, but super important, we are going to dedicate a VA for you to find you deals based on your investment criteria. So thank you everyone for joining today. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you Tuesday.